Yeah, I just have such a beautiful insight, such a powerful insight about relationships and about what we are doing and what is really spiritual awakening about. And it is so uplifting. It just lifts our mind high. We want to use relationships in a way that will lift our mind up. That is a new way of using our relationships, new way of connecting, new way of interpreting, joining, new way of discovering true connection between each other. And I was just, I think sometimes and oftentimes, because we think that we are the body, we want approval and acknowledgement. And I think that was one of the themes that I was going through in my mind, all this desire for approval, desire for acknowledgement, comparison flushing up in my mind. And that I feel so grateful for that, because it gives me so much opportunity to question that, to release those ties. And you release these old conditioned ideas, unquestioned ideas in my mind, and to really ask myself and ask Jesus, what is actually helpful? Jesus, help me see what I really want. I don't want to be blinded by this belief that I want something. I want to see, I want to experience what I really want. And it came down to these connections, you know, how personality self wants to connect on a horizontal level. It's just the ego wants to join with itself, you know. Ego just wants to stay in its thought system, and of course it does not give you the way out. And it's like now we are discovering a new way of experiencing relationships, new way of connecting, new way of joining, that is uplifting, that is inspiring, that is supportive for the awakening, where it's a sense, there is no personality self at the center, there is spirit at the center, and every relationship that seems to be unfolding is serving the spirit. And actually, there is no relationship between personality self. There is nothing happening on a personality self level. Like, there are no relationships between persons. And we are so used to, we are so addicted, we have such a tendency to think about relationships in terms of personality level. But for the spirits, there is no relationship between the personality self. There is only divine guidance, there is only divine flow. And what we can do, the best expression of a true relationship here, while we'll experience this perception of the world, is to join in that divine guidance together and collaborate for the spirit, for the good of all. That's the true expression of a true relationship. Actually, is a reflection of a true relationship, reflection of helpfulness, reflection of inspiration and true connection. And it's like that all of a sudden it's just popped in my mind, like, why would I want approval of acknowledgement of personality selves, persons, which is really the ego, that only wants to stay on the horizontal level, that only wants to create drama, that only wants to feed the drama, that only wants to feed this personal story. And that's when the sense of being offended comes in. That's where the sense of being abandoned comes in. That's where the sense of being rejected comes in. That's where the sense of being not being unfairly treated comes in. It all comes in from this personality level, relating from this personality level to the personality level. That's where all this trouble, all this concern, all this emotion is coming from. And we are learning to engage only with the spirit in every moment. And there is nothing the personality itself can gain or lose. There is only the spirit to be experienced in this practicing, in this way of living. So it just blew my mind. I was like, I don't even want any approval from the personality self. I don't even want to be acknowledged by personality self. Why would I want that when it means Getting approval and acknowledgement from the personality self, just means staying on the horizontal level and making the body real, and all the stories around the body and all the dramas making real. I was like, I would rather be lifted up, I would rather soar with the spirit, in the spirit, high above the battlefield, above the clouds, above all the mess, above all the confusion of the personality self, above all the confusion of the ego. I would rather stay with Jesus than think about trying, making all this effort to get some kind of approval from something that I don't even want, that's not even offering me anything that I really want. Why would I want that? And it's like, if you want anything from this world, it's like, it means that you want to reinforce this personality self stories, and you just want to stay on that level and play that, and you don't want to feel uplifted. And it's like, we are so called to release all these desires for anything of this world, and we are so called to live on this spirit realm with the spirit, and making only the spirit real, and there is nothing else. And all this, it's like all this idea of being nice or being kind or being liked, that is just a lie, that is just an unnecessary, that is just a concern that drains our energy, and we don't even need to concern ourselves with any of it. We don't need to concern ourselves with the personality self and persons, including ourselves. We just need to concern ourselves with staying with the spirit and following guidance. That's the only thing. We don't need to concern ourselves with anything else. Do I feel guided to do something right now? I'm gonna do it if I feel it. If not, I'm not gonna do anything. Do I feel guided to say something or not? If I feel guided, I will say something. If I don't, then I'm not gonna say anything. That's all. That's all we need to concern ourselves about. There is no personality story involved in that. It's so clear and it's so simple. But the ego makes it so difficult. Ego brings up all these stories about this person, about that person, and if you say this and if you say that. No, we don't need to think like that. We don't need to concern ourselves with that. And it's like, it brings up, it's so light. When you think like that, when you practice that, your mind automatically goes high with the spirit, because it's so light and it's so simple. There is no ego complexity, there is no story to be remembered, so there is no past to be acknowledged, there is no past to be reinforced. There is only guidance, and we just need to stay with the spirit, with Jesus in our mind, and just follow the guidance. That's as simple as that. And then all the personality self, all the relationships that seem to surround us are just an opportunity to give when we feel guided to give. That's all. If we use all relationships only for that purpose, if we realize that our only goal is to follow guidance, and then every relationship is just for us to give when we are guided to give, can you imagine how simple it is? Can you imagine how much trouble and how much worry that saves you? That way of thinking, that way of relating. Just stay with Jesus, and that's all you need to do. That's all you need to concern yourself about. There is no one to be liked by, and there is no one to like. There is only spirit to like, and there is only spirit to be liked by, who already likes us, who already loves us, and we already have that approval and acknowledgement. We don't have to earn it. It's within us. That acknowledgement, that acceptance of our worthiness, that approval by the spirit, which is the most important thing, is already within us. And that's all we ever wanted and all we ever needed. That experience comes from within. And this is a huge breakthrough. This is like, this is everything. This is quantum. This is everything. This is everything. That helps you to realize that you are everything, actually. That nothing is apart from you, and you don't need anything from anyone at all, even from your personality self. You just need to listen and follow, and that's it. That is literally it. So how inspiring is that?